Here are some of my favorite ways to bring my lures down to where the kokanee salmon are biting without using a downrigger. Oh my goodness. Hi family and friends, this is JU and you're watching JU Nation Fishing. This is a 5th episode of a 6th episode dealing with kokanee salmon. Man, I congratulate those guys who hanging with me all the way to this 5th episode. In this episode, I'd like to talk to you about getting the lures down to where the kokanee salmon are biting. If there's anything negative to say about kokanee salmon fishing, is that you're most likely going to need a kayak, a boat, or a canoe. I don't know of anybody that's fishing in Northern California from the banks for kokanee salmon. So when you're from the boat, you're going to need to get your lures down to where the kokanee salmon are biting. And one of the tried and true method is to use a downrigger. I've been very blessed to be able to use both the manual downrigger and an electronic downrigger. With the downrigger, you set your fishing line out behind the boat. After a set distance, you clip them into a clip on your downrigger and you drop it down to a depth that you want. I'm going to try to show you at least a manual downrigger that I got. See here? The idea is to put a big weight here, drop it down, and when it goes down, this downrigger will tell you the depth that you're at, okay? And there's a clip on here, so when the fish bites it, it's supposed to take it off the clip, and then you fight the fish. Now, no doubt, having a downrigger and finding the depth that the kokanee fish are biting is a pretty much excellent way to catch kokanee. Once you find the school, you run back and forth between the same school, and you'll get your limits within no time. One setback about having a downrigger is that sometimes the kokanee salmon are kind of small, and we can be dragging the salmon for about 10-15 minutes before we actually know that we got one on there. So that happened with me when I was fishing with Fat Dog as well as Warren Fredrickson. Sometimes we'll drag a little small trout or a small kokanee a long ways before we even know that it's on the line. So in my opinion, it's a very effective way, but it's not a very fun way for me to catch kokanee salmon. With that, I'm going to show you what I love to use to catch kokanee salmon. Some of the ways that I'm going to use to bring my lures down to where the kokanee salmon are biting. By far, one of the easiest way to bring the lure down by a certain depth is using a Leadcore line, and I prefer that the best because it's easy. The Leadcore line is heavy. The only drawback once again is that you need a big reel to hold all your Leadcore lines. Okay, so if you it's highly recommended to use a counter. Every 10 yards, your line will sink down 5 feet. So 100 feet of lines behind your boat will roughly bring your lure down by about 15 feet, plus or minus. To me, it's a really fun way to catch kokanee because you really feel the bite versus when it's on a downrigger. And that's one of my favorite ways to let my line down to catch kokanee. Another very effective way of getting your lures down to the proper depth is using an inline sinker. One of our trip, I think we outfished the rest of the other method by using a simple inline sinker. So this one right here, you put it to the main line, and this end here, you will put it to your lure, your flasher or your lure. This happened to be a 3-ouncer. They make them in different kinds of weight, 2 ounce, 1 ounce. So that's another fun way because you can really see the takedown on those on those rigs that are set up that way. You can really see this takedown. So that's another fun way. So inspired by the inline sinker, I made my own. I don't have a lot of inline sinker the banana inline sinker like the one that I just showed you. But I do have a lot of these little round sinker like this. Therefore, I modify a 3-way swivel so that I can add more weight like that quickly. Let me show you that now. Here's my 3-way swivel. And I modified it so that I can put in a weight. Let's say this is 2 ounce. Suppose I want 3 ounce. All I need to do is unclip this right here. Add in another weight. Now I got 3 ounce and I'm still fishing. Another way that you can do it is by using what is called a spreader. And you can buy these made like this already in the store. There's a spreader to the main line, to your lure, and of course the weight goes in this clip over here. So you can buy these spreader in the store. If you know me, you know I like to make things as I go along. So I use a paper clip, which I got a bunch of them at home. And I made sort of like my own, I don't know, it's between a spreader and an inline sinker. I'm gonna call it the JU's Depth Seeker. So you heard it here first. It's JU's Depth Seeker. I show you how to make that in one of my shorts. So check it out if you want to make one yourself. But the bottom line is that once you're done, you get this. See? One goes to your main line, one goes to your lure. And this, I can easily clip a bunch of weight. This happened to be 5 ounces on here. And if I wanted to take it out, I could take it out and put only 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce. So to me, it's real easy and simple to make. Now I got a couple of these in my toolbox. I can bring my line down to a level I want. Fairly easy. And as I said, if you follow along to this 5th episode, you know that I'm a steelhead, salmon, trout fisherman. I have a lot of equipment already. One of the things I like to do is to turn one of those crankbait into a diver. Here's one of my extra crankbait that I change into a diver. And it rattles as well. I'm gonna put this to the main line and this over to my lure. I just paint this. I just take a black Sharpie pen and paint it black, take out the hooks, and just put in a little snap swivel. And now I got myself a little mini diver if I don't want to go that deep. This probably can get me down to about 5 feet, 10 feet maybe. Now there's actually one that's pre-made, which I have plenty of too. I have a lot of equipment for steelhead that will bring my lure down to where the steelheads are hiding. Here's one I bought called Brad's Magnum Mud Dog Diver. All right, this will probably bring me down to maybe 10, 15 feet. This is what it looks like outside the box. Let's go to your main line, dives down, and you can tie your lure right there. Or right here if you wish. I have a lot of spare. Then there are other inventions that brings the lure down, such as the Pink Lady, the Jet Diver, the Tripz diver. I've got all those things. So I'm going to start using that to bring my lures down because, like I said, I love to see the takedown. When the kokanee takes the lure, I love to see the takedown. And when you have nothing to impede but a line, you'll see the takedown a lot better than if it was on a downrigger. Let me show you some of those things that I just mentioned to you. As you can see, I have this Pink Lady that I haven't used yet, but supposedly it can bring my lure down to 15 to 100 feet. I'm really excited to use that. A Jet Diver I'm really familiar with. They come in different sizes. I have from 10 feet to 50 feet. So there's a number right there. See this 20? This will bring you down to 20 feet in the right condition. The Tripz is cool is that it comes with the release right here. So if there's a fish is big enough, it hits it, it'll trip this, and the diver will set loose, and all I do is need to fight a fish only. Here's a 40 feet Jet Diver. These are all my multiple. I got plenty of these. And then 50 feet Tripz diver. Here's my 40 feet Tripz diver. What I like about this is when the fish hits, you can adjust this trip right here, trips off, and all you will be doing is fighting the fish instead of this drag that's on this diver. And now lastly, what I love to do is I love to use the gyro lures flatfish. You've seen in the past I've caught a 6-pound trout. I've caught over 13-pound cutthroat from Pyramid Lake with the flatfish. I love that. So one of the experiments I'm going to be doing in the future is I'm going to take one of those flatfish and I'm going to tie a stinger hook to it. So now I got 3 hooks. Now you have to be careful, check the regs, because some places only allow you to use 1 hook. And I believe most places here in California you're allowed to use 3 hooks. So I'm going to use a beautiful looking flatfish like this. I'm going to tie a stinger hook right through here. I'm going to flatline this baby, put a little corn on each hook. I'm going to see if I'm going to catch some Kokanee salmon with that. So there you have it. That's why I'm addicted to it. It's just so much fun to catch kokanee. There's so many different ways to try, and I can't wait to try them all. And this year, hopefully I'm going to hit up some new lakes that I haven't hit up that has kokanee in it. As always, family and friends, thank you so much. There's so many good fishing videos out there. I thank you all for coming to check out this channel and hope to see you back in my next episode, the very last episode of this 6-part kokanee salmon fishing video. Until the next time, peace out, family. Woo! Bam!